What is up, guys? Welcome to the channel. This is my third time recording this video, so I hope to God the sound works. I had some technical issues, but let's get into this. These are my picks for UFC Fight Night: Derrick Lewis versus Tallison Teixeira. Let's get into this. Mike Davis versus Mitch Ramirez. Mitch Ramirez, he got his legs kicked to death by Thiago Moises, who was getting mixed up with the other Brazilian. I'm taking Mike Davis by ground and pound TKO. Kennedy and Zachaku versus Walter Walker. This is a good fight, very good matchmaking. The matchmakers know what's up. I think Walter's the favourite or slight underdog. I thought he would be the favourite. I'm taking though Kennedy and Zachaku. He's got the experience. He's coming into his own a bit. He's almost breaking into the top 15. Yeah, I'm taking Kennedy and Zachaku. I'm not confident in it, but I'm going to take him by obviously knockout. Lauren Murphy versus Eduardo Mora. You all know how I feel about women's MMA. We need to ban it. But I'll give her some flowers because she's been in the UFC damn near over 10 years. Even though the last 4 since she got her ass whooped by Valentina, I checked the record, she's fought like twice. And she lost her last fight to Andrade, and Andrade is washed. I'm going to take Eduardo Mora by decision, unfortunately. Got respect for Lauren Murphy. She's a tough cookie, but yeah, man. And obviously by decision. How else is a gal supposed to win a fight? This is a sick fight. Jake Matthews versus Chidi Njokuani. The younger Njokuani, the little brother. He's always dangerous, always got the knockout threat. But I see Jake Matthews having the chin to survive any hairy moments, which I think he may have 1 or 2, but he'd have the skill and the tenacity to get the takedown. I think he's going to mix it up, dirty box clinch, take him down, and I could see him getting like an arm lock, Kimura, key lock type situation late on when Chidi's tired, or just a wide points decision. Chris Curtis versus Max Griffin. This is an interesting fight, very interesting, because I want to see how Chris Curtis looks at 170. He's 5'10", I checked. He's a thick boy for a 5'10", though. He's a thick dude, like, do you know what I mean? But Max Griffin has shown a few times that he doesn't have the heart or the stomach to be a high-level MMA fighter. I mean, the guy's like the one guy Colby Covington knocked out is that him. Like, just think of that. You got knocked out by Colby Covington. That's on your record. That's like a mark of shame. No disrespect to Colby. Chris Curtis is a way better fighter, way skilled, and he's been robbed too many times. Even with a terrible weight cut, I still pick Curtis to beat him. The 5-4 record is just a load of rubbish. He should be like 7-2 or something. Because he's been robbed at least twice that I've seen. It's ridiculous, like just stupid outright robberies. And you can't, yeah. Chris Curtis, I'm taking by KO or a wide points decision, but I'm gonna go with KO because I got to make my mind up. Tafa versus Tukos, man. Tafa, I don't like it when these guys were naturally flabby and chubby, and that's how they are, lose a lot of weight. It's never good. And he's got like a bit of a 6-pack abs. Polynesian Samoans don't have 6-pack abs, and they're not supposed to. They don't need it. Mark Hunt didn't need to be body beautiful when he was knocking people's spark out. So I'm actually going to go with Tuko Tukos. Even though he's 0-2, I think he's going to get a knockout because I think Tafa, I think he's going to have no chin at this weight. I remember when Andy Ruiz fought, God, I can't remember his name now. Let me quickly look. Andy... Not that it's that important, but he fought a guy who was no great shakes. God, he's got a long Wikipedia entry page. I think he fought, yeah, Chris Arreola. I think he fought for the title at one point, but Chris Arreola is not a big puncher, not really anyway, and he was an old guy at the time, and Andy Ruiz lost a ton of weight for that fight, and Andy Ruiz got put down like 3-4 times in that fight, and Andy Ruiz has always had a pretty good chin. Very good chin, actually, Ruiz has had. And yeah, when these guys lose a lot of weight like that, it's never good. Obviously, you know, Tafa could win the fight. He's a big gunslinger, but I don't like this weight cut for him. I think these Polynesians, I googled into it a while back. The reason they're quite chubby and flabby is because when they're little islands where they live, they'd be like hurricanes and crazy tropical storms and wild things that would happen and ruin the crops and floods and stuff. So they need to store a lot of fat in their body to, like, almost like animals, to sort of survive drought seasons and stuff like that. So that's actually, scientifically, they think that's why they all have, Polynesians and Samoans have these sort of, you know, chubby, thick bodies. But yeah, Tuko Tukos. Vitor Petrino versus Austin Lane. Wow, this is a fight that actually sucks. I was looking at Vitor Petrino's record, very interesting. He fought a guy who is 1-17. He fought a guy who was 1-17, who is now 2-24. Like, the guy absolutely sucks. We've actually got journeyman in MMA now. Crazy. He's fought guys with 0-0, 0-0. He's just fought guys with shocking records. And then he got battered by Anthony Smith and battered by Dustin Jacoby. Well, Anthony Smith just choked him out early on. He didn't really get battered, but I mean, this is a fight of who staves off execution the longest, because they're both inevitably going to get cut. It's just who gets cut first. You know, the winner of this is just who gets cut last, really. I think if Vito Petrino loses, he might get cut, but he might not, because he'll have only lost 3. Austin Lane, I think if he loses this, he might get cut. But the UFC, I mean, the cupboard's so bare at heavyweight, they might let him hang around just to get someone else a win. You know what I mean? Someone like the loser of Volta Walker versus Nashville, they might stick him in with one of them to get them a win. Nate the Train versus Morgan Charrier. I saw Morgan Charrier fight in person in Paris. He's better than his record suggests. I would normally go with Nate the Train, but he looked so bad and so outgunned and so outskilled and got dominated so bad in his last fight, and he just looked so out of his depth. I'm going to have to go with Morgan Charrier. I mean, if Nate has turned around, then fair play to him, but he's going to have to do a lot in his last camp and since that fight to improve to stand a chance of winning this fight, because, I mean, man, he did not look good in his last fight. He took a beating, and he just looked frustrated, and you know, he took it like a champ, but man, it didn't look good. This is my fight of the night. This is my pick for the fight of the night. This is going to be absolutely sick. One of my favorite fighters, an unheralded fighter that many people know about. I was watching this guy years ago back in Bellator, smoke people in Bellator. For some reason, I've always got it in my head that he was in UFC, got cut and came back. I don't know why, but yeah, he didn't. But it's just for some reason I'll always think that about him. But Steve Garcia, he's like Julian Juicy J. Rosa, one of my favorite, like just out of the top 20, top 25 fighters. Never quite in the top 15, but just an absolute guarantee to be exciting. Put a whooping on Chase Hooper. He had one unlucky fight in UFC where he got caught early, but other than that, it's been straight. I think he's got the longest knockout streak in MMA currently. He's just smoking dudes, putting them on the moon, like sending them into orbit. You know what I mean? Versus Qatar, who I think is washed now, unfortunately, and I love Qatar. I think Steve Garcia puts an absolute beating on him. I think Qatar should retire. He's got money from outside ventures of the Octagon, so he doesn't need to be doing this. He was a millionaire apparently before he even signed for UFC, so you know he doesn't need to be doing this. And a young, hungry Steve Garcia is going to be a bad matchup for Qatar. I just don't see how Qatar wins this fight unless he manages to KO Garcia somehow. I do not see this going well for him. And obviously Qatar, even though I think the knockout streak comes to an end, because Qatar is just tough. He is a dog. He is a dog among dogs. Like, he is a dog. Qatar, I mean, if Qatar does get knocked out, I'd definitely say retire, because I mean, we remember he's got the unfortunate record for taking the most abuse in a UFC fight when he took, and I think was it 3 rounds or 5? I think it was 5 actually, but he took a hellacious beating off Max Holloway. I mean, Max was just used him as a heavy bag. It was insane. That was one of them fights where it was so obvious he was never going to win. They should have just pulled him out after the 3rd round, because they would have saved him like 780 punches or something stupid like that. They would have saved him 500 blows to the head, which maybe when he's 70 and he can't find his Kowskis to get out the house, he'll wish they had done that. But I love and respect Qatar. Got a lot of love for Qatar. He's an absolute warrior, but I think he gets his ass kicked in this fight unless he gets lucky. Thompson versus Bonfim. I'm still not sold on Bonfim because he looked good in his last fight against Chaos, but man, he looks so bad against Nicholas Dalby, and Nicholas Dalby is better than we thought. But I mean, if Thompson was even 3-4 years younger, I would pick Thompson. But Thompson's, I think, 42 or something now. Is he 42? I mean, he's not Wonder Boy anymore, is he? He's no boy. Yeah, he's 42. I think Thompson probably is winning this fight until he's not. I think he gets caught and clipped like the Buckley fight. Not that he was winning that fight, but I think he sort of wins this fight. He's winning this fight and then just gets clipped. I think if chin is finally gone, the Pettis, the Buckley knockout were wide apart, but I think now it's been tapped a couple of times. That's what's going to happen. Main event. I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to see Stephen win. It'd be nice to see him win. But I think Bonfim's probably going to win. But I think Stephen will have seen Bonfim gas in that Derby fight and will be thinking, right, I can see a path to victory here. And, you know, he's not a normal 42-year-old, is he? Let's just say that. Derrick Lewis versus Tallison Teixeira. Even though this is the main event, and I love Derrick Lewis, do you know what I mean? We're Ronda Rousey fan airset and all that good stuff. My balls is hot. I see Derrick possibly getting tuned up for a round 2, maybe 3, probably not 3, because this guy's probably not going to have the skills. But I think he gets tuned up for a round or 2, and then just bam, H-Town on that boy, and it's over. And yeah, there's not much more to say about that. It's a typical Derrick Lewis fight, isn't it? But I hope the Black Beast wins, and it's a return of the beast, mark of the beast. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Let's hope to God the sound and everything's works, so I don't have to record this video for a fourth time. Yeah, give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a comment, even if it's negative. And once again, catch you guys in the next video. Peace.